Hey everyone, Mr. Happy here, and I just wanted to make a little video preparing you for the full launch of Blade & Soul here in the West. This is another sponsored video. We've had plenty of those lately, but as you know, still my own thoughts, still my own opinions, as I always say in every video. So after a few days of early access and seeing some of the woes of players, I figured I could help ease some of you in who are waiting for the game to go completely free to play before giving it a shot. So we're going to go over some of the basics here. A lot of these things have been recommended to me by members of the community over on Twitch and in the YouTube comment section of my previous Blade & Soul videos. If you have any tips you'd like to add on, be sure to include them here. I'm going to also be going over some ones that may have been true in the beta but may not be true anymore. So let's get started. So the first tip is which class to play. Probably the most common question I get whenever I'm live streaming the game. This is also going to be the first thing you're thinking about when you jump in. Now, the NA servers are in Dallas, Texas, and the EU servers are located in Frankfurt, Germany. So classes with high ping, you're going to have to really consider if they're going to work for you and your internet connection based on the quality of your internet connection and your location. Two classes that especially come to mind are the Assassin and the Kung Fu Master, which are going to be a little bit more difficult to play if your ping to those locations is high. Some classes you may want to look into that have not only just less ping reliant, but a little bit lower difficulty, especially lower difficulty than the Kung Fu Master. Something that's a little bit more beginner friendly is Summoner. Summoner's very, very beginner friendly. Blade Dancer, Destroyer, and Force Master can also be relatively beginner friendly. Now, I'm not saying these are easy jobs. Every job in the game has a high skill ceiling, especially when you get into the max level content and the PvP. But these classes should be easier to get you into the game and situated during the first leveling process. Just be sure to expect to notice some lag on occasion, even if you're not on some of those high ping reliant classes. Just if you have a bad internet connection, you'll notice it pretty quickly. Next, don't pick an overpopulated server. For the love of God, don't. I mean, okay, so during early access, it became apparent that Mushin in North America and Winrest in Europe were basically going to be completely impossible to get onto without beating the rush of people logging onto them. I got in on the first day, but then when I went to try and get in again, the first time it took me 2 hours, second time it was going to take me anywhere from 4 to 6. It's calmed down a little bit since then for Mushin, but just warning you, you may have trouble getting into servers if you pick them when they're that populated. So I highly recommend you pay close attention to which servers you pick, and without a doubt, avoid these two for now in their respective regions. Pick a server further down the list, and remember, the game comes with cross-server dungeons and PvP. So you'll still be able to play with people in your region, even if you're on other servers. You just won't be able to participate in the same world PvP or the same guilds and whatnot. They are also in the process of seeing if server transfers for characters will be a possible feature in the future. Believe it or not, it was a feature that was never implemented in the Korean version. Just not something that they need as much over there. I don't know. So I'd like to dig a little bit deeper into that at some point, but let's get through these tips first. This is a big one, because I've seen many of people get screwed by this one, and some of you who are already playing during early access are going to hate me for warning people about this. Beware of PvP factions. Now, Blade & Soul doesn't have PvP servers and PvE servers. Every server has world PvP, but it's not native, it's not automatic. Basically, players need to equip a garb that will flag them for PvP. Early on, you're given the option to join either the Cerulean Order or the Crimson Legion. Once you complete this quest, you'll get your first faction-related outfit. If you put that outfit on, and this is important, every person wearing an opposing faction outfit will be able to attack you, even inside towns. You're not safe anywhere if you put that on, and it's a beginner's trap incarnate. This can happen several times throughout the game. Other factions can pop up, such as the Black Ram. Whenever picking a new outfit, always check to see if it will make other players aggressive to you or not, to avoid getting endlessly ganked. Don't worry, if you do get ganked, you actually have the outfit removed from you, but despite the fact there being countermeasures, you can avoid it happening in the first place if you don't want to participate. Okay, so next bit of tips are crafting a gathering. So if you aren't a premium member, it can be hard to keep up in money demands without just running a ton of dungeons, since there is actually that whole bidding system that I mentioned in the last video. This means you either have to spend what money you do have on crafting a gathering, or just save every penny until later. Regardless, don't forget about crafting and gathering. If you're someone who does decide to go premium, you'll probably have plenty of money set aside just to do this, and quests do give you money on a daily basis and as you're leveling up. Some of them can give you pretty decent amounts, especially as you get into some of the bigger ones towards the late 20s or early 30s. You start making a little bit more off a quest at that point. Now, whether it's Unsealing Charms or Soul Shields that you want, it'll come in handy to have Crafters and Gatherers later, so that way you can make that stuff yourself. So to get to Jadestone Village, definitely do that introduction quest to show you all the Crafters and Gatherers. One thing you can also do for some extra experience points is go around to all the guilds and just accept them for the first time. They'll give you a little quest right on the side, at least the Gatherers will. That's worth 1,000 experience. It just asks you to go find the first item on your list of Gatherers. Do that. It's an extra 1,000 EXP from each of the Gathering guilds, so it's definitely worth it. You can also make money by doing some PvP and endgame dailies when you get there eventually, but we're talking about the early game, so really try to nail down if crafting and gathering is something you want to invest in or wait to do it later. Next, check your achievement lists. You'll notice there's a tab there called Bonus Attributes, and yes, that does exactly what it sounds like it does. It gives you bonus stats for completing those achievements. For example, defeating the last boss of Black Ram Narrows, the first major 6-man dungeon, if you defeat him 10 times, you'll get a bonus 400 HP added onto that character. Make sure you're knowledgeable about these achievements and ensuring that as you get to them in the game, you're actively trying to complete them. And my final tip for this video, although there's many more I could give, don't waste seals and keys for no reason. It's easy to run out of Unsealing Charms and keys, especially if you're unlocking every soul shield you find or using a key on every weapon chest that you find. Keys definitely go fast because you're looking for transformation materials, or breakthrough materials I should call them, but do your best to limit the use of both of these things, or you're gonna find yourself turn into the marketplace with the money you may not have for after step number 3. So you really gotta make sure you nail this one down pretty solid. And those are just a few of some of the big tips that you can definitely get when you're first entering Blade and Soul. Now, there's a ton of questions you probably still have, and I know there's tons of people watching this video who have the answers. So be sure to check the comment section of the video below. If you have a question, ask it there. If you have an answer, please turn there as well to see if you can help someone. There's plenty of resources online, so be sure to use them all, guys, because it's going to be fun tomorrow. Just make sure to avoid those server queues, and make sure to avoid getting ganked as soon as you join either the Cerulean Order or the Crimson Legion. Those are the two biggest ones that I definitely want to put highlights on. Thank you for watching this sponsored video by NCSoft, by me actually, sponsored by NCSoft would be the correct way to put it. Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and share, and stay tuned for some more Blade and Soul action. We're going to be covering the Pawaran dungeons. They've been covered in the other regions before, but I figure what the hell, why not? People have been asking me if I'll do it, so I will definitely do it, as well as some other things, including PvP. But anyway, I will see you guys in the near future, so be on the lookout for some more videos. Until then, take care.